anger. And so, you know, there's so much that we deal with, and sometimes we don't have places to take it. So I was fortunate that my son was like, Mom, why are you so angry? And I had to pull him aside and tell him what was going on with me at the time. So that, yeah, but it was my own disappointment. I was like, why did I end up marrying this man? Why did what was it? What did I miss?
Oh Lord.
And I just like, because I don't want to project onto some other person who doesn't deserve.
It's back to the same thing, that anger, that rage, and what you said in the beginning about forgiveness, you know, and being able, and I think Derek's said it earlier about expecting things from his mother that she didn't have to give. You see, and you expecting things from your ex that he apparently is unable to give.
Absolutely.
You see, and then being angry. How can you get angry at someone who just doesn't have it, who's just emotionally incapacitated? They just can't do it. They, you know, I want $10 from you, but you don't have it, so I'm gonna be mad at you. You know, so really having compassion and understanding, and back to what we began with, is listening to people's stories.
Yeah. I guess I'm kind of in a moment of questioning, like, then where does the rage go? Because I feel like as a black woman, as a black girl child, how I was taught was, you know, like, you know, follow the rules. Like, I'll never forget having a conversation with my aunt and my mom. And I actually wasn't in the conversation, but I was at the table. And my mother pretended like I wasn't listening, and I was pretending like I wasn't listening. And they were about to have a real adult conversation. And my aunt was like, well, Ariel's still here. And my mom's like, she's not listening. And my aunt's like, no, she's a good black girl, child. She's pretending not to listen. And like, so how many, you know, moments in how we're conditioned as we grow up are you supposed to, if you feel anger, you push it and you put it away somewhere? And like, where does that show up in the body? Kind of like this question you have about reparations and trauma and how it changes ourselves. It's like, I'm kind of in a place with like some health issues where I'm like, is that where my rage is going? You know what I mean? I'm like, maybe, you know, and then what do you do to like correct that so that you're not in a space of like projecting, expressing, you know, your rage in the wrong space, but that it does get expressed or show someplace else. Yeah. Yeah.
And another question. So I do a daily meditation, and the word for today was vulnerability. And you know, I never saw my mother vulnerable. I never saw her vulnerable, and I really haven't seen her vulnerable until the last 5 years of her life, and she's 100. So, you know, do we allow space for African American black women to be vulnerable? And when there is a vulnerability shown, can we sit with the discomfort and allow that person to be where they are? You know,
Can someone replace?
Yeah, I was
this
saying,
singer? And I just wanted to know, we could just talk about vulnerability. Vulnerability.
vulnerability
is, for me, in my experience, it's a luxury. It's very pricey. It's dangerous. It can get you hurt physically, mentally, emotionally.
Yeah.
And I'm just learning the difference between emotional and mental pain. I've learned that if I'm like, I had a bad day yesterday, I stayed home, and I was just in my funk. Where I live, I have a mentor, they're an older black woman, and they're like, I can't allow you to become complacent. I'm not being mean to you the way I'm talking to you. When I tell you you have to do something, I can't let you become complacent. And I'm like, I'm not complacent. I'm just mad.
That's right.
Oh, I'm sad. I know I have a plan. I know if I didn't have a plan, I need the space and time to act, to make one.
That's right. That's right.
And I don't feel as though I have that luxury all the time. Like I have 2 children, right? So when I come to a space like this, and I want to make myself vulnerable enough to delve deep into the moment,
Yeah.
but I have to be omnipresent. Because she don't need to be tearing up nothing over there. He don't need to be tearing up nothing over there. I know there's glass and water right there. The balls are rolled. That's cords. And I know them.
Yeah.
So like, and this is my everyday. I am always omnipresent. And I didn't start, this is the word I'm beginning to use, omnipresent. Before it just felt like I'm just always on. I'm always on duty. I don't have an opportunity to be vulnerable, to get into my feelings and find out why I was in that healthy relationship to begin with. You know? And when I do want to take a moment to sit back on my life, I'm at a point now where it's just like, I'm not ashamed to say that I have a mental health issue going on right now. And then when I try to make claims for it in my workspace, it gets laughed at and denied. It gets disrespected.
Yeah.
I made myself vulnerable there.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid that if I say that I am jacked up in the head right now because of some stuff I've been through,
Yeah.
clients that come through here project that same behavior, and I need a break because while I'm taking care of house here in this office, my real house is falling apart.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to lose my job behind such honesty. So, okay, now, thank you so much. Things spiral and I have to say something. Don't waste it. So, yeah, I think vulnerability, especially for black women, is a luxury. It's a right. Not. I understand them that it is a right. It's a part of my personhood. But because of where I live here in America and these conditions, it's being treated as it's a privilege. And that's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's why when we was on the breathing, I call on my ancestors, I call on my grandmothers, my grandmother, my great grandmother, because I know they had less than me and had to make a way. Like when I call on authors like Octavia Butler, I think about her story that gave her the creativity she needed to create stories for me to read today and have a form of escapism and possibility. When I think about Maya Angelou and she being 3, and her brother, or one of them 3 and 4, her and her brother traveling from California to down south on a train back then. She's 4 and he's 2. And you know, I just think like, okay, I'm in my struggle right now, but like, I'm not in a struggle as a parent where I have to send my kids on the all alone on the train with a tag on their clothes and pray that they don't rip the tag off or nobody rips them apart.
Right,
Saying,
right.
is there a question about vulnerability that you can ask Ariel?
Thank you. So why are you afraid about where your anger goes and your vulnerability?
Yeah, I guess I don't know how to, I guess I'm trying to understand where is the intervention, right? Like you were bringing up what are our daily spiritual practices. You know, real transparently, I have this uterine fibroid and it's just growing. And it just doesn't seem to be stopping. And now it's the size of a grapefruit. And they're like, you know, we have to remove this soon, probably in like, I don't know, a year would be a melon or dodgeball.
So before then,
Yeah, because it was a orange last year, so, or a baseball last year. And so I'm just trying to, I'm like, okay, I know that that's a muscle, it's a mass, that it's a tumor that's built out of estrogen, spare estrogen. I'm like, where is the spare estrogen from? You know what I mean? I know that it comes from fat, but I also just wonder about ancestral lines and like women in my family and women in my history. But also like I know that a lack of vitamin D causes it, and I know black women have them disproportionately. And I'm like, what is all of that? Like I just feel like there's more. I guess I just believe that the things that are like
eugenics,
ailing us, like come from like us not having spaces to be vulnerable or us not having spaces to recover or recollect ourselves, you know? And I also wonder, as you were speaking, I was just like wondering, like what are the things, like what are really the conditions under which like that have to be possible for you to recollect yourself? Like, I remember I used to have this recurrent dream that I had like a circle of women from my life who just held me as I wept, because that never happened for me. Like that was just never a space. You know what I mean? Like
I need that too.
you know what I mean?
I
Like
need your phone number.
that's right. I need your phone number. But that's right. You know, and that like, you know, like even to this day I feel like if I cry, my mother's like, what are you crying about? Get it together.
I do that to
like,
them.
You know what I mean?
If that's passed down, when you think
Right.
about, we talking about things
That's
passed
right.
down,
That's right.
like, get your kids and keep them in check.
Right.
Go in this store, don't you touch not a goddamn thing.
Right.
Cause I know what my pockets look like, and my pockets don't look like shit on that price tag.
That's right. That's right.
So,
That's right.
Just always gathering your kids, making them look correct, making yourself look correct. So now you don't have, but the same thing Derek was talking about is that conversation about women's health, because your mother and her mothers didn't have a safe place to get proper reproductive health care.
Right. Absolutely.
We rely on roots, as if you still connected to your southern roots, your African roots, or your native roots, then you have root doctors and stuff in your own community that you can go to. But like you don't have a real doctor to really help you be diagnosed and then go through the diagnosis, that whole mental and emotional aspect of it, and help you so that when now, if you feel some type of way physically, you can be like, yo, this is virus fucking me up right now. I know I said I was gonna go with y'all, but I'm not.
Right. Or I need to not come into work. Or, you know what I mean? Just like the basic.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, like, when we look at that same cycle, I feel like as we each sit in this chair, and I don't mean to be spoiler alert, but I feel like that's gonna come up, these missing links of not being able to express ourselves down to, because, you know, no fourth grades had to laugh in a barrel or water, let alone cry out loud and not have somebody have the attitude.
That's right.
So that's so now What I'm learning, as I learn to love myself, is that crying happens.
That's right.
You heard him crying out there over that piece of chalk.
Right.
You got a piece of chalk? You don't want it? Okay.
That's right.
Cause we gonna keep making art.
That's
You
right.
gonna come back when you ready.
That's right.
Not let me be mad and make a scene and correct you real quick.
Right.
Now I feel
That's
some type of way.
That's right. That's
So
right.
crying gonna happen for you. Things gonna come and go.
Right.
The job, the love,
Yeah.
the people, romantic, familial,
Yeah.
it's gonna come and it's gonna go. But what's gonna be constant is you.
Right.
And so like that's what matters, you. Like that's what I have to realize. That's what matters me. And whatever condition that I'm in,
Yeah.
however I smell,
Yeah.
however I got to wear,
Yeah.
what I'm used to having, and I'm going
Yeah.
through a humbling experience,
Yeah.
let me tell you.
Mm.
So, and so I still have to be me and understand that even when I say that I'm me, that I am multiples.
Yes.
And I ain't gotta be crazy to be multiples, but if I am,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna be you telling me
What do you mean when you say I am multiples? What does that mean?
that, like,
Ariel, do you mind swapping that chair and someone else?
do you want me to swap or keep staying?
No, we continue the conversation.
Okay.
Multiples.
Yeah.
Does somebody else mind sitting in the chair?
who's also a teacher and holds group spaces, and they were sharing the way they think about people as having, I think it relates to the multiples, as having an inner diversity. That we have like inner layers or an inner diversity of who we are, and that they have edges, and that sometimes they were telling me about when you're facilitating or teaching or you have a group, maybe you don't know that person really well, and you can feel someone kind of getting up to the edge of one of their selves and inviting them out. Because that also made me think of projection, what Muti was talking about, the difference between the flesh and the real and the projection. The projection is flat, and it's like it's one-sided, which is different to me than the multiples, which is this inner diversity, this many different layers that we have. And they were telling it to me from their place of, you're not going to know what all that inner diversity is just when you meet someone, even people you know, talk about secrets, but hold it, because part of getting free is being able to be more choiceful about which self do I want to be right now. It's not, and without judgment, like what you were saying, like you can be selfish and have it not be all of you. You can be, but that's up to you to choose when that is the you that you want to be. And I relate to that as a mixed race person too, because growing up, a lot of confusion about kind of what box I was supposed to be in, and other mixed race telling me that it's actually about your part of your inner diversity is how many different relationships you have. With my dad's immigrant family in the U.S., his family's still in India, my mom's family in Texas, and that each of those different relationships is a different layer of me, and that's okay. They don't need to all fit into one of those boundaries. And so it's actually just about how do I learn to navigate and be more choiceful, have more access to them, so that I can make that, in any moment or situation, I can make that choice for myself. That's how I resonated with that.
So have you taken any action?
I think it's a continual process, yeah. I mean, I think actions to me on that, around my identity, like talking to my siblings, talking to other people.
Is this still recording?
I think a big action is noticing the multiples, not as a contradiction. Like something else is off because I'm feeling these two cells of mine in contradiction. No, that's not a contradiction. That's just two layers of me. Like getting unstuck from the wait, those aren't that's not being inauthentic or not being real.
Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. So afraid.
Thank you, Dr. Ife.
You
Watch
know
out,
There's the Ariel mentioned the recurrent dream. Is there? Do you have anyone have recurrent dream? So we can kind of continue that thread. What I'm pulling at is threads that I'm drawn to, based off of my ideas for the films that I'm thinking about, and you all are helping me to craft based on these conversations.
So I try to become. I'm running, but I'm running like. What's his name? You go meet road running, and you see the cartoon, and the legs is like a big circle, just running, and I reach a point in my running where I feel like I can't stop because if I do, I'm gonna fall, and it's like always coming to like this halt. Yeah, it's I don't know what to say. It's the love donation to Jane.
And Sam, do you mind rotating your seat so that someone else could sit there?
Well, can I talk here from here?
Of course, yeah.
So, about a couple of months ago, or maybe probably around in April, I was having this recurring dream that I would be driving and I would go blind. And it was just so scary, and it was just like, I would be driving the car, and so after I kept having this recurring dream, it was, I kind of figured it was like, you've got to surrender and stop trying to control this creative life that you're living. And so, then I would go, then I said, well, okay, I'm willing to just accept this, that I'm having this recurring dream. And then the last time I had the dream, I was driving, and I said, okay, I'm just gonna allow the car to just move. And then what happened was, in the dream, the car, instead of driving blind, and I was like, the car went so high up in the air that I still lost control because I couldn't see the road from being so far up in the air. And so soon thereafter, I was reading something or listening to something on the radio, and it was saying that the biggest addiction in America is control. That it causes, so much disease and health issues. And so again, I go back to being a black woman and how we try to control so much of our lives. And my mother, who's a type A personality, successful in her own right, was a control freak. And she wanted to control all aspects of her. She had 4 daughters. And what I'm learning is that it's so funny. It's because the more I let go of control, the easier life gets. And I've been working on a grant for 4 years. I sent in it's all kind of connected. I was like, I've got to make this happen. I've got to write these grants. I've got to write these proposals. And I said, you know what? In April, I said, you know what? I'm tired of this dream. I'm just going to let go. And I got the first grant.
Hey,
and I
now.
was like, wow. So how do you move and trust without this control thing going on? Because it causes stress.